Hi, you're watching India Post Live, India's first web TV news conversation online. I'm Shivraj and we're discussing Love Commandos, the silent saviors of love. You too can join in on the conversation by logging on to our website, indiapostlive.com. You can also tweet with us, #IndiaPostLive, or use the Twitter handle @IndiaPostLive. Right, what's wrong with love? Well, in this part of the world, it is pretty much frowned upon because parents are expected to take the responsibility of marrying their children off to each other with a lot of restrictions on caste, religion, and therefore it's about restricting love. Let's take a look.
South Asia and especially India is a region where parents are still choosing life partners for their grown-up and educated sons and daughters. Love marriages are taboo in these societies. Though the trend of love marriages is catching up in urban India, yet many love stories end on a bloody note. Young lovers are brutally killed in the name of keeping family honor intact. But what exactly is their crime? Does love bring shame to families? How long will the defenders of tradition continue to be at loggerheads with lovebirds?
So how does one really cope with the fallout of two people who really wish to be married and spend the rest of their life together despite all the opposition? Well, joining us in studio to discuss that is Sanjay Sachdeva, who's the chairman of Love Commandos. Thank you very much for joining us. Asik Iqbal, who's the chairman of Dhanak Indradhanush, that looks at interreligious marriages, and Yusra, who's been married and can also tell us her story as we go along in the conversation. But Sanjay, how does Love Commandos work? Because in India, it's so deeply entrenched, the opposition to a union when parents have decided it's just never going to happen. How do you work around couples who really want to get married?
In a small time of 4 years, we have been happy in helping 28,000, 29,000 couples throughout the country. We have a helpline 09313784375, which is always ringing. Though it works on 12 junctions, even then people find that line is busy. Being under debts and threats, we are working to save the culture of this land. The institution of marriage in India started with the marriage of Lord Shiva and Parvati. It was an intercaste love marriage. Like any love marriage today, there was no marriage procession, nobody to join. But the God did it. You can well understand when the mindset of people was against the God at that time, what should be the scenario today?
So how do you cope with the fallout? So, when couples reach out to you to help them go through the whole process of getting married despite all the opposition, there have been instances in India where there's been some very violent fallout of the result of marriages that have been opposed by either family. How do you cope with that? How do you handle that?
First of all, we respect the law of the land, the constitution, the resolutions of the parliament, the standing directions of Supreme Court. The parliament resolved way back in 1978, omitting the provision of guardianship from marriages. But it is shocking that our lawmakers are even today are going to so-called arranged marriages which have no legal stand-eye.
So just to explain for a layperson what the guardianship in marriage and what the 1978 law did, because I think it's very important what you just said. If you would explain that for a layperson.
The Indian Parliament, in a unanimous resolution, while paying tribute to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, on 1st of October 1978, omitted the provision of guardianship from marriages.
Okay.
Indian Constitution guarantees marriage by choice. But shockingly, every day we see wedding cards. Mr. and Mrs. XYZ invite you to the marriage of their son or daughter. Who are they to invite? What is their locus standi in the eyes of law? And shockingly, the lawmakers are attending such marriages every day, even organizing such marriages of their own children.
And we also see states where there are actually mass marriages that take place,
Like
despite the law.
It is shocking that the protection of lovers' rights is not on the agenda of any political party in this country. The country is on a volcano. When we started, we didn't thought that it would be such a huge problem. But looking at the entire nation, Andhra, it is terrible. Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan is shocking, heartrending. Tamil Nadu, everybody can cry. Uttar Pradesh, Haryana are infamous, though the incidents are lesser, but reported more. Just think that huge country is not being reported, where such atrocities are going on.
Right. And we'll also come back to...
I will just add one point. In Maharashtra, the boy was a practicing high court advocate, girl a district court advocate.
Look at the level of education, yeah.
It was an interreligious marriage. The district bar stood against that. Just see the mindset.
And Asif, I think just coming to you, already we're in a complicated country. We're so diverse. We've got so many religions. And yet when it comes to interreligious marriages, there is such a vociferous, like Sir just pointed out, even educated people like lawyers associations stand up against it. How do you cope or how do you handle such tricky situations when you bring two couples who really want to get married together?
Well, yeah, yes, certainly it's tricky. And the thing is that, there is so deep-rooted hatred amongst, it has been there since ages, where when you talk about religion or faith, it has been there, and there are various socio-political reasons for that. But our objective is, how to make it work, and not only, of course, constitution and constitutional provision, acts and all, it is there. We certainly work with that. We're within the paradigm of, but at the same time, we also think that how it can be worked with the parents and with the family, because after getting married they have to nobody wants to be separated from the parents. They want to be associated with the parents, and even parents want to be associated with them.
But I'm just going to step in there from my own personal experience, and it's really sad because there was a part of the family, highly educated, right up to MAs in the 50s. It was an interreligious marriage, and they chose not to acknowledge it, not to have the kids. So they lost 20 years of not having those grandchildren grow up with them in their house. They would meet them neutrally. So it's very complicated. How do you bring these opposing sides together to understand that they're going to lose out at the end of the day?
No, I don't think it's complicated. The thing is that, there are no, the precedences are very less. And it is not clear within people that how people from different faith can stay together. There's so numerous issues where starting from marriage to birth of child and inheritance and adoption, succession, and ending till going till the burial or the funeral of the partner who's getting so there are so many confusions which unfortunately have not many precedences. The examples which has been sought or been shown are generally which have failed. So the objective is to make a fraternity, not to make a fraternity, to bring all those people who have been living together, coexisting, with respecting the other faith, the values, and within the human and humanitarian values, which is a thought of all the religion, all the faiths. Right. So keeping that in mind, we also get in dialogue with the parents, with couples, and wherever it is possible, we try to work out a solution with them, with respect to the faith of the other person. Number one, it's very important. Generally, it has a lot of gender element in it. Traditionally, girl going from a family has to convert. So that is one of the biggest challenge, and we say that there shouldn't be any conversion for the sake of marriage.
Absolutely. Now we just go to Yusra's case.
I just want to add, when he said gender bias, it is more shocking that Indian laws are male chauvinistic.
Absolutely.
If you see the entire world, marriageable age for boy and girl is equal 18 years. Here, boy should be older, 21 years. Why? Coming to reservation. Child of an intercaste love couple gets reservation only on the basis of father. Why not either of the two? And nobody speaks on the issue. Nobody is daring. The country is on a volcano. So unless such people of such mindset, that is male chauvinistic, are shunted out of the administration, thrown out of the system, the country is not going to change. But now Love Commandos is there, and we shall ensure that that day comes.
Okay. Now just going to Yusra before we come to the issues as well.
Add
Yeah.
one more point to it. The legal provision for interreligious marriage, there is only one Civil Marriage Act, that's Special Marriage Act.
Right.
That came into existence in 1872, and some amendments have been made. Right now, what is there is, it's such that it is pushing people for interfaith marriages or anybody for religious marriage. Although it's a legal provision, constitutional provision, but indirectly the act and as such the rules are such that it's pushing for the religious marriage. So there has to be a fundamental change in the act. There should be either a new act which should cover all these dogmas, all these complications.
Reconcile
it.
Faiths.
So that is also very important, and we all, I mean, Love Commando, and there are so many other organizations, we're working for it.
Absolutely, we're a civil democracy. We need to also separate, special instances. But Yusra, in your case, what exactly happened, and how did you overcome the hurdles that came your way?
I actually belong to a very educated family, and my parents were primarily they were against the alliance, not my in-laws, because I think, like Sir said, it's a male chauvinistic society, so you don't want the boy to go out of the family. So my husband really had an easy go that after some they finally agreed to it. But then we had to struggle for almost 6 years to convince my parents, and then the thing happened. But even after everything was in place at the time of marriage, since it was to be done under the Special Marriages Act, we had to, I mean, it was very difficult. Firstly, there were no clear procedures stated, either online or in the books, or even if you ask the officials, there are absolutely nobody who can guide you very clearly. So after much of research work of almost 4 to 5 months, we finally got a way through how we have to proceed. Then the process is so cumbersome that the couple generally find it easier to have a religious marriage. Instead of going for an interfaith marriage, they prefer to, we have to get married, so let us do it for the sake of just getting married. Because if you have, there was, firstly, you have to apply for the marriage. Then you have to wait for at least 30 days to get the marriage done. That is the 30 days notice period that is there. During that 30 days notice period, the photograph of the couple with their application form is pasted on the city magistrate or district magistrate, whoever the marriage officer in that particular area. They are pasted on the notice board of that office. And during that 1 month, if somebody comes and object to it, then there is a likely possibility that the whole thing will get
through
shelved.
This entire process, how did it make you feel? I mean, after all, we're all Indian citizens in
It
this
felt
room.
like something that is my choice entirely, and nobody has to do anything with it. I'm being made to answer to somebody who has nothing to do with it, and
Exactly.
it
And
is
exactly
something
what,
that it is
Sanjay
my
Sachin was saying in the
life.
very
Nobody
outset.
is.
I think I must add, such a process increases religious fundamentalism in this country. Touts of every religion are hovering around offices of district magistrates, city magistrates, marriage officers. They take the information, they rush to the one family or the other family, or mobilize other people of the same religion, create a fundamental hue and cry for no reason, who have nothing to do.
Absolutely. Like
I
Yusra
have-
said, I mean,
just
it's
one
something we
point to add.
chose.
Generally
That's why we feel that if you are in love, we advise people only for the sake of marriage, you may convert. Keep your religion into yourself, so that at least you can get married in a single day, and there is no religious fundamentalism.
But the thing is that the administration in itself will suggest that why are you getting married through the Special Marriages Act?
So it's actually a mindset issue, more than just the law. and
There's
the
also
letter.
a police verification that needs to be done. Why, I don't know. There is a notice that needs to be put up in the newspaper. For what reason?
What reason?
These are so arbitrary rules. Every state
Archaic
has different
almost.
arbitrary rule, and to at what she's saying, that administration, to large extent, they have mindset. They have
Right,
they're
exactly.
absolutely biased against
Okay.
it.
So we're
and
also-
if I give just quickly, I will give figure. You take, there are 9 districts in Delhi now, increased to 11. Every year there are hardly 30 to 35 marriages which are registered or solemnized in Special Marriage Act, in comparison to 4,000 which are registered in the Hindu Marriage Act. There are 2 acts which you have legally identified, which again, you know, with the change, compulsory registration of marriage. So it shows the complete apathy, the
Absolutely.
discrimination. Just imagine
The huge
35,
gap.
35, and there are so many people who want the civil marriage.
Okay. We're also joined online by Vandana and Dilip Singh. Vandana and Dilip were recently sort of united, rescued, and out of their choice they married. Can you tell us, Dilip, आप बता सकते हैं कि आपके साथ क्या हुआ?
सर, हम एक दूसरे को काफी साल से जानते हैं और पसंद करते हैं। तो हमारे घर वालों को जब पता चला तो हमारे घर वालों ने इस बात को एग्री नहीं किया और दोनों पे ही दबाव डाला कि हम एक दूसरे से दूर रहें, खासकर वंदना पर। तो हमने फिर डिसाइड किया कि हम एक दूसरे के साथ रहना है हमें। तो हमने डिसाइड किया कि हमें निकलना होगा यहाँ से। हम आए और वहाँ से आने के बाद घर से इंदौर गए थे, 1 मंथ वहाँ हमने गुजारा। वहाँ हमें प्रॉब्लम से हुई। फिर हम वंदना सिंह की कोई फ्रेंड थी दिल्ली में, उन्होंने बताया लव कमांडो के बारे में। तो नेट पे हमने जब देखा और उन्होंने हमें नंबर निकाल के दिया, हमने बात की। फिर हमने बात करके यहाँ आए। हम डरे हुए थे काफी पहले, लेकिन तब आए, हम यहाँ रहने लगे तो हमें यहाँ आके बहुत रिलैक्स महसूस हुआ और फैमिली जैसा माहौल है और यहाँ के सारे लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं, किसी चीज का भेदभाव नहीं है और बड़े प्यार से ही हमें यहाँ पे रखते हैं, हर चीज का सपोर्ट करते हैं।
पर अपोज क्यों कर रहे थे?
जी,
अपोज क्यों कर रहे थे?
सपोर्ट करते हैं।
नहीं, अपोज क्यों कर रहे थे? विरोध क्यों कर रहे थे
घर
आपकी
वाले?
शादी को?
वो उनकी थिंक है कि क्यों नहीं चाहते वो बिल्कुल भी लव मैरिज को एग्री नहीं कर रहे थे।
अच्छा, and it goes back to the mindset
नहीं,
issue.
मैं इनकी बात में एक ऐड करना चाहूँगा।
जी,
जब ये बच्चे हमारे पास पहुँचे, हम इनकी शादी के लिए डिफरेंट टेम्पल्स में जाएं तो पता चला वहाँ अपने को सीबीआई का ऑफिसर बताने वाले लोग पहले पहुँच के इनकी डिटेल निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और वहाँ के लोगों को क्या क्या ये आए तो इनकी शादी मत करना, हमें चुप करके फ़ोन कर देना। उन्होंने पूछा कोई मुकदमा है, बोले नहीं है, लेकिन क्योंकि लड़की पक्ष में हमारी जानकारी है। यानी किस तरह एब्यूज एंड मिसयूज ऑफ मशीनरी होता है। हमने शादी कराई, जो कि जो लोग हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, ग्रेटिट्यूड, थैंक्स टू एवरीबॉडी, उन्होंने किया। लेकिन थ्रेट का लेवल आप देखिए कहाँ तक इस कपल के मामले में हमें मिला।
बिल्कुल। fear of bodily harm also, क्योंकि वो जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि ना वो
मतलब अगर
paranoia-
सीबीआई जैसी मशीनरी का मिसयूज इन कामों में होने लगेगा,
बिल्कुल.
व्हाट इज द स्टेट ऑफ दिस country?
And like Asif said right before we went to them, that it's actually a mindset issue that even the administration has sort of incorporated and sort of made it part of their DNA. What is the answer? How do we tackle that?
I would like to come on that. Now, the Honorable Supreme Court had given detailed guidelines in Criminal Appeal 958 of 2011. Every public servant and every person is duty bound to implement the directions of the Supreme Court, standing directions.
Sure.
Supreme Court had by its own order sent it to all the collectors and SPs for strict compliance. That any person of marriageable age can marry a person of his or her choice or live with him or her. And every authority has to protect such love couples. The Supreme Court further said that it is the only way which can bring an end to this casteist society. But when it comes to implementation, I'm sorry, our Supreme Court cannot go to each and every doorstep of administration and ensure its compliance. Not even a single SP or collector has been put behind the bars till date in this entire country, whereas many should have been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll just go across to another young couple who married out of love, out of their choice, Ved and Chandrakanta. आप ज़रा बताएंगे कि आपका कहानी में क्या हुआ, कैसे ऑपोजिशन हुई और आप कैसे फिर मिले और शादी किया?
यस, एक्चुअली हम दोनों क्लासमेट थे। 2006 से हम एक दूसरे को अच्छी तरीके से जानते हैं। उसके बाद में हम दोनों ने डिसाइड किया कि एक दूसरे को अच्छे से जानते हैं, दोनों का करियर सेटल है। एक्चुअली आई एम ए लेक्चरर ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स, सो एंड ही इज़ ए सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर, सो वी डिसाइडेड दैट आवर करियर शुड सेटल। उसके बाद में हमने अपने पेरेंट्स से बात की इस बारे में। हमने सोचा पेरेंट्स से बात की जाए। पेरेंट्स से बात की तो पेरेंट्स ने बोला कि नहीं, ये सही नहीं है, और अगर आपने मामले को ज़्यादा आगे बढ़ाया तो लड़के को हम नुकसान पहुंचा देंगे। हम लड़के को 50,000 रुपया लोकल पुलिस वालों को देकर पिटवा देंगे और तुम्हें पता भी नहीं चलेगा। तो तुम्हें लड़के से ना तो बात करनी है ना कुछ और करना है। My parents took away my mobile phones and there was no communication between us since 3 months. Then I said that okay, I'll follow your instructions. उसके बाद में पेरेंट्स ने कहा ठीक है, अगर हमारे इंस्ट्रक्शंस फॉलो करोगी तो फ़ायदे में रहोगी। पेरेंट्स ने कहा कि चलो ठीक है, अब बोलो तुम्हें क्या करना है। मैंने कहा आई हैव ब्राइट फ्यूचर, so I joined as a faculty of mathematics in some private college in that area. I get the mobile by my parents, and the next day I did contact with my husband. Then he told me about love commandos. Then I searched for love commandos. मुझे पता चला कि हाँ कोई है। जब आपको घर वाले सपोर्ट नहीं करते तो बाहर से कोई है जो आपको सपोर्ट करता है, जो आपकी हेल्प करता है, जो आपको सिक्योरिटी देता है, जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के हिसाब से आपकी मदद करता है।
बिल्कुल
एकदम लीगल प्रोसेस। उसके बाद में मैंने कहा ठीक है, हमें हेल्प चाहिए। पापा थे लव कमांडोज, होल टीम सपोर्टेड अस और हमारी हेल्प करी। मैरिज रजिस्टर करवाई है, मुझे रेस्क्यू किया गया। आई एम हैप्पी नाउ, वी आर हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ।
You see the emotion there. So I would assume that you also went through a whole sea of emotions when dealing with the hurdles, both the administrative, the mindset, and the things. I'll just let you describe because it's a human story as well. How did you overcome the kind of sea of emotions, the challenge, and really get down to doing what you really want to do, marry the person you love?
Well, I think the most important thing for anything is to believe in your relationship and your partner. So if you are sure of your partner, I think nothing is like, if you are not willing to give up, you won't give up. So,
But it does create a lot of stress. So
yeah,
how
it
do you
is
cope
a
with it?
lot of stress. Friends are a very important part of it, because when your family is not there, friends are obviously, and then each other's support. It is, it's like without it you can't do anything. So that is there, and secondly, my education. My education and my being a self-supported person, it helped me a lot because I was independent to take my decisions. I wasn't financially dependent on
Exactly,
anybody.
very important.
My education had given me the eyes to see beyond the said lines, to see that what I should be doing, what is right for me, not because somebody has told me that this is right and this is wrong.
Exactly. As we become a progressive nation, this is something that we will have to take very close look at, because otherwise we're being watched by the world and we're saying that we're not allowing.
I would like to interject a bit. We are not a progressive nation actually.
Or we like to believe we are progressive.
We just like to believe
Yes.
in it.
I think I must add, we may have got progress in the name of buildings, airports, roads, and these things. But hearts and minds have not
We
progressed.
have lost on IQ.
EQ.
The human feeling that was there, that is coming down. That's why Love Commandos is the only hope for these young boys and
So
girls.
my next question, sir, is how does Love Commandos also deal with all the other things that take place? You know, apart from rescuing and bringing couples together, that whole emotional baggage, the counseling, how do you handle that? And how do organizations like Dhanak also do that?
You just heard these kids, Ved and his wife, Chandrakanta. We tried earlier, that rescue operation failed. We tried day before yesterday. It was successfully completed with the spirit of our grassroots workers. And yesterday, we got them married, got their marriage registered, did everything. And these children are happy. We have so many such kids. Another case, we had taken up with the state of Haryana. And while coming here, I think a few minutes before, I got 3 faxes from 3 different superintendents of police. Now, every police officer in the state has been instructed on the request of Love Commandos to protect each and every love couple in that state. It is just today's order which I got.
Very heartening.
Though its implementation, I know it will take some time.
Yeah.
And how do you provide the support,
The thing
Dhanak?
is that, once you decide to get married according to your choice, it's a perpetual challenge. It's an everlasting, lifelong challenge. Because you're trying to swim up current. And it starts right from the thought when you decide, okay, we want to get married. And it continues till end. It's never-ending process. In my case also, mine is also interfaith marriage. 10, 14 years down the marriage, still those issues, religious issues are, cropping up, and a lot of, the only way is that, first of all, as Yusra said, good dialogue between both of you, common understanding about it. If it is not
strength
there,
of the relationship.
yeah, it's strength of any marriage, whether it is arranged or love or whatever. And second, it is not only about getting married, different caste, different faith will change the society. The change has to be brought within. So we have to be the torch bearer. We organize several meetings, regular meetings with the couples, either face to face or on net or whatever, Skype or whatever. There's Google group, we share, and it's about the mindset. We question that now. It has been a challenging issue for you, interfaith marriage. What happens if your child come and say, okay, I want to stay with my same-sex partner? Will you take the same stand for that? So unless that change has taken place, so it is
At a
both
larger
way.
level.
It is both way.
Absolutely.
emotionally, mentally, and as well as administrative change.
Okay, we're also joined online by Harsh Malhotra, who's also Chief Coordinator of Love Commandos. You know, we've been getting a few tweets as the show progresses, and one from Surendran saying, the intentions may be noble, just wondering how many irate parents at the end of the result of these marriages. How do you cope with that?
अगर आप ये क्वेश्चन हिंदी में करें तो ज़्यादा बेहतर है।
अच्छा, जो शादी के बाद जो पेरेंट्स है जो अभी भी अपोज कर रहे हैं, उनको कैसे हैंडल करते हैं आप?
एक्चुअली हम पेरेंट्स से बात करने की कोशिश नहीं करते, क्योंकि पेरेंट्स से अगर मानना होता या इन बच्चों को फेवर करना होता तो वो पहले ही मान जाते, लेकिन उनका कहना ये होता है कि इन्होंने जो भी किया गलत किया। लेकिन हमारा मानना ये है कि अगर उनको लगता है कि इन्होंने बच्चों ने गलत किया, पेरेंट्स को मनाने की कोशिश तो बेकार है। अगर वो कहते गलत किया तो इन बच्चों को अपनी जिंदगी जीने पे छोड़ दो। इनकी ऑनर किलिंग करना, ऑनर किलिंग तो होती नहीं, वो होता तो मर्डर ही है। उन बच्चों को मार देना, उन बच्चों को, जिस बच्चे को आप 20-21 साल 22 साल पाल रहे हैं, उसके बाद एक जानवर से भी बुरी तरह से उनको मारा जाता है, तो बड़ा दुख होता है कि ऐसा क्यों। हम कोशिश करते हैं इन बच्चों को बचाने की, आगे बढ़ाने की। अब जब भी आप अच्छा काम करेंगे तो पीछे कोई ना कोई बुराई तो जरूर करेगा, तो ऐसा भी होता है हमारे साथ। और रही बात पेरेंट्स की, तो वो कभी हमें लाइक नहीं करेंगे, ना ही हमारी बात सुनेंगे। अगर हम बात करने की कोशिश भी करेंगे तो छूटते उन्होंने एक ही बात कहनी कि आप कौन हैं, आप इनके क्या लगते हैं।
ठीक है,
तो इस क्वेश्चन का जवाब हम उनको दें, इससे बेहतर है कि उनसे बात करने वगैरह, क्योंकि जो अपने बच्चों को नहीं मान सके, जो अपने बच्चों की फीलिंग्स को नहीं समझ सकते, वो हमारी बात को क्या समझेंगे।
Okay, so let's just, you know, we're running out of time, so I just wanted to get to your... Can I just ask a question?
One thing for your viewers.
Yeah.
You just heard Mr. Harsh Malhotra. His world record is of love. He married his own wife 6 times out of love, and it has become a world record. Number one. And number two, you must be knowing, there is much of controversy of same Gotra marriage. Bhagwan Ram and Sita were from same Gotra, Kaushal Gotra, and likewise Harsh and his wife Nidhi are. So it is, if gods could have same Gotra marriages, Harsh could have, why is there a controversy in this country? We fail to understand.
Okay, now you showed us this order by Superintendents of Police in Haryana. It's a small start, but where would you like to see this actually go in from a larger perspective?
Haryana is a small state of the country. We have been dealing with the police of various states. In certain districts of Uttar Pradesh it works, and in certain the administration just puts the papers down somewhere. In certain cases we had to personally ask the chief minister, and he had to bang the DIG or IG, and then a small FIR was registered. Another thing, despite this directions of Supreme Court, I don't think there is any police station in the country where a case is not registered for enticing away -- girl for marriage. Supreme Court says it is abuse of process of law, process of court, process of administration.
Okay, so we...
it is shocking.
Okay, so we're just running out of time. So Asif, what would you like to see happen next so that people like Yusra can live lives without the hassle of stress of having to deal with all this?
You see, first of all, as we are talking, there has to be a fundamental change in the acts, you know, because that is the strength. Because we are speaking here on the basis of the constitutional values and the power which has been given to us by our constitution maker. So we personally feel that there should be whatever existing acts and laws are there has to be either major change or there should be a civil marriage act. I'm not saying uniform, I'm saying civil marriage act, which any adult who with their certificates or whatever goes and get married without any hassle. You know? It's their choice whether they want to go for religious or for a civil marriage. Similarly, there has to be dialogue at every level, because it has to be a social change also. I mean, we can't just say that, you know, administrative things, because it has not been working. Mindsets are there. So that also has to be taken up with government, with people, with even caste panchayats, with religious leaders. It has to be a parallel process, because more we talk about it and more cases we have to show. I mean, as I said, it should have precedences.
Absolutely.
We're trying to build as many cases, as many people who are working on
To
this
feel
issue,
the humanity.
as many couples we bring together. How much can we talk about it? I'm thankful to you and your organization and this India Post that they're raising this issue. And more we talk about it, it becomes, and people will become sensitive, the media will become
So
sensitive.
Yusra, the last word. I think it's about a simplification of the entire process to allow people who love each other, irrespective of religion, caste or creed, to get married, on the one hand. On the other hand, it's a mindset issue. What would you like to see change so that it becomes easier for couples going forward?
If the mindset changes, the administration will change itself. And one thing I would like to add, that kids are not anybody's property.
Absolutely.
Why do we have kids? We have kids because the two people want to complete their marriage. That's why they end up having kids. So it is not the parents who are doing any favor to the kid, but the kid who is bringing in the completeness into their relationship. So the relationship is as mutual as any other, give and take. तो मेरे ख्याल से माँ बाप को ये सोचना थोड़ा छोड़ना पड़ेगा कि बच्चे उनकी कोई जायदाद हैं जिनकी ज़िंदगी उनको एक लाइन पे चलानी है जैसे उनकी मर्जी हो उनको.
To add to it, just one point. I mean, there is a complete contradiction has been raised by him. There is a difference of dual, ambiguity in the thought process. It's been questioned when we try to question parents. What have you been teaching children? Barabari, equality. They have read in school what you have been teaching. Now, when they are asking the same question, what you have taught, we are doing it. You
Different
go
standards.
Against it.
Absolutely.
That's the dual mindset. I mean, that has to be.
And this is a discussion we will continue having, and of course, we will continue doing more programs. So we're completely out of time.
But to sum up, I must say a small thing. We believe love begets love. There shall be no room for hatred anywhere on the earth.
Absolutely. Can't agree more.
And that's why we say lovers of the world unite, because we believe that love shall triumph. A day will come when love shall rule the world one day. And that day shall be the real day of freedom for everybody. And we have an appeal to the young people. If you have any problem, just visit our website, lovecommandos.org. You can send us email, you can contact us through Twitter, Facebook, on our helpline. We just want to thank at last. But I think that is the best thing. When we could find less supporters to help our cause, we are grateful to the world-known tennis legend, Bjorn Borg, who has started helping us financially. We are grateful to the journalist community of India and worldwide who have been and who are continuously donating for our cause. And we want young people should also come forward so that we can take this movement to every nook and corner of the country. And that's last. I will only say, प्यार करना पाप नहीं है और विरोधी किसी हमारा बाप नहीं है. गर्व से कहो हम प्रेमी हैं. शर्म से नहीं, घबराओ नहीं, गर्व से कहो हम प्रेमी.
Absolutely. Thank you so much on that note. Thank you so much, Asif. Thank you so much, Yusra. Thank you so much, Sanjay, and all our other couples who've chosen to marry for love, for joining on the conversation. You can continue the conversation on our website, indiapostlive.com. You can also continue those tweets coming in, #IndiaPostLive. Thank you for watching.